Alright, there are 4 permanently flying characters inside of Marvel Rivals now. Iron Man, you had Storm as well in the beginning. Then, with Season 1.5, I believe they added Human Torch. And then, Season 2.5, we now have Ultron. Unfortunately, Storm and Human Torch have a team up, and then Iron Man and Ultron have a team up. So, it's often you see them all. So, as you see, we have War Machine. Now, it could be problematic, right? But I think War Machine could be a great counter for these 4 flying characters. Now, he's also going to contribute to it and be the 5th flying character somewhat. But I think his counters are going to be justifiable enough to allow him to be able to also be a flying character to some degree. So, for War Machine, it's going to be a Vanguard, right? I'm sure some people are already like, what the hell, right? But we have a flying support, flying duelist. Let's get a flying Vanguard, right? Let's have some variety. So, the health is only 500. Primary fire is going to be called Trigonic Blast. Fires projectile, with a triangular spread, where it's 3 things. Magazine size is 12. Rate of fire is 120 RPM. The damage per shot is 50. Now, the reload time is 0.95 seconds. So nothing too crazy for his primary, just kind of like a standard would be kind of a tank primary. Secondary fire ability, Suppressive Fire. You activate this ability to shoot a fast-firing machine gun mounted on your left shoulder. The weapon continuously fires before heating up and needing to cool down. You're also going to damage resist while you do this. Ability duration is 3 seconds. RPM is 1500. The shots fired is 75. Range is 30 meters, and the cooldown is 7 seconds. Just kind of like, obviously War Machine, he's known for his guns and everything, specifically machine guns, so you're going to need to give him an ability here. If you're wondering what 1500 RPM sounds like, it's pretty damn fast. Damage resist you get from this is 15%. The non-crit damage is 3, and the crit damage is 6. So obviously try and aim for the head with this. Now we are on to the first ability, Ability 1, Guided Defense. Hold ability input to activate a mounted right shoulder cannon that targets enemies or allies. After targeting, release to fire off missiles that track to the marked targets. Damaging enemies with missiles grants overhealth to War Machine, and missiles that hit allies grant overhealth to them. The cannon automatically marks enemies and allies that are in range, meaning if only one enemy or ally is in range, they will be the only one marked. The maximum missiles released is 11, the damage per missile is 50, the range is 40 meters, overhealth gained per missile is 25, ally overhealth gained is 50, and the cooldown is 20 seconds. Think Juno's rockets from Overwatch with this ability, very similar kind of thing. It's just instead of healing, it's overhealth. Juno's also does damage, so pretty similar ability. Obviously Marvel Rivals seems to take some inspiration from Overwatch abilities and just kind of does a little spin on them. Ability 2, Sonic Piercer. Fire a supersonic sound wave from the blaster on your left hand, and the sound wave travels out and can pass through multiple targets before dissipating. Enemies hit by the sound wave are disoriented and slowed, and flying enemies will fall to the ground while disoriented. Range is 20 meters, damage is 50, disorient/slow duration is 3 seconds, and the disorient effect, you drowns out the sound, and the screen gets all wobbly, kind of like the Minecraft nausea effect. This ability is basically just, what he does to Scarlet Witch in Civil War. Movement penalty is a 40% movement penalty, and it has a cooldown of 8 seconds. I might increase that cooldown, because, it is kind of powerful considering you can hit multiple people. But yeah. Then you go on to the third ability, Ability 3, Fight with Flight. Dealing damage or providing overhealth to allies with your missiles grants progress to a flight meter. Activate the ability to drain the flight meter and fly freely for a duration. Activating max meter charge grants overhealth. Now the max or the meter progress for dealing damage is 5% per missile. Meter progress for ally overhealth, per missile is 2.5%. Overhealth granted on max meter use is 150. The maximum flight duration you get with this is 12 seconds. The flight speed is 25 meters per second, and the flight duration can be extended midair with additional, damage, but it's a severely reduced meter conversion rate. So midair missile damage meter progress is only 1%, and then midair ally overhealth meter progress is only 0.5%. This is what I was saying, where he could be an issue and become the 5th flying character, so it's just even more annoying. But I think with him being a 5th flying character, he also has enough in his kit to deal with the flyers with his auto-seeking missiles, auto-tracking missiles, his anti-fly sonic waves, his hit scan minigun or machine gun that he can use midair, right? So he has a lot of ways to do this. As for his ability, his ultimate ability, we have Rolling Thunder. Activate to enter a fly mode that unveils multiple large missile launchers while active. You unleash a devastating amount of missiles that travel out in a straight line before causing severe knockback to enemies hit. Total missiles fired is 100, the range is 40 meters, and the explosion radius of the missiles is 3.5 meters. The knockback distance that they suffer is 10 meters. The damage per missile is going to be 35, so if you manage to hit everybody with this, you do 3,500 damage. If anybody is cultured, they will recognize this ability as very inspired of the Flight Core from Titanfall 2, right, with North Star's core. Very, very fun ability, and when I was thinking of War Machine, I was like, that needs to be his ultimate, because, let's just be honest, what else are you gonna give him? His passives, nothing too crazy. I'm actually going to give him 2 passives. I know some characters have 2 passives. Some have only 1. I don't think any characters have 3 passives. But for the passives, you have aerial superiority. War Machine's abilities have increased range while he's airborne. Just 20% increased range. And terminal velocity, if he falls from over 20 meters, he does 75 damage on impact. And this is kind of giving him justice for the, tragedy he suffered in Civil War. He fell, broken, his legs, he became paralyzed from the waist down. Kind of sad. This is kind of giving him a, hey man, what if it went different, His team-ups are nothing too crazy. Brothers in Arms, Tony Stark provides War Machines with tech upgrades that increases his ability damage, and then Automatic Judgment, where the Punisher's final judgment, his ultimate, automatically locks onto enemies within 25 meters. And so that's my War Machine Vanguard idea that I think would help with the flyers. Let me know what y'all think. If anybody actually watches this.